We'll move on now with a look at the international newspaper headlines with Haximize Belkin back with us. Hello there.
Hi.
And a very dominant story today for newspapers around the world, the goings-on in the British government.
Absolutely. The front page of today's Independent pretty much sums up what a lot of papers and, of course, people are feeling about the state of British politics right now. We see former Prime Minister now, David Cameron, with his family, preparing to vacate Number 10. The caption, "All yours, Theresa. Sorry about the mess." The Wall Street Journal, meanwhile, has gone with a picture of May formally accepting the Queen's invitation to form a new government yesterday.
Deep curtsy there, very reverential.
She's quite tall, so it's a...
She is, isn't she?
Really
The Queen is tiny, you're right, yeah.
to get that curtsy in. This paper, like a lot of the press outside the UK, is primarily concerned with how May plans to implement Brexit. This article describes negotiating the UK's departure from the European Union as May's biggest challenge and asks when she's planning to invoke Article 50 of the EU Constitution. That's, of course, the UK's ticket out of the Union.
There is still, though, this conflict, isn't there? Theresa May was officially, if not particularly vocally, a Remain campaigner, but she's heading up what's sort of been dubbed the Brexit cabinet, and that's coming out in quite a lot of the opinion pieces.
May's just shown that she's really serious about Brexit, reads the headline of this piece in The Spectator, which itself supported Brexit. It notes that May's appointed 3 leavers to the key Brexit-related jobs in government, selecting established Eurosceptic David Davis as the man in charge of the UK's exit from the EU is proof, according to this article, that May isn't interested in any backsliding on the referendum result.
All right, and there's some debate going on, isn't there, about just where on the political spectrum Theresa May actually lands. Is she centre-right? Is she centre? Is she trying to appeal to the left? Where is she?
Well, if her maiden speech yesterday is anything to go by, she's more on the left, centre-left, let's say.
Than we might have expected.
Absolutely. But there's a very convincing and rather sceptical analysis of that speech in The Guardian today. The paper says that in promising to speak for the ordinary working-class family struggling to make ends meet, words you'd usually associate with the Labour Party, not the Conservative Party, the new Prime Minister is making a direct pitch for the political centre ground. But May's first cabinet appointments suggest a shift to the right, argues this article, with veteran right-wingers like Liam Fox and Brexit campaigner Boris Johnson, of course, now holding 2 of the top jobs in the land.
All right, now, a lot of the names that we've been talking about, probably a little bit foreign to many of our international viewers, but you've probably heard of one of them, Boris Johnson. He's probably the most well-known and I would say the most controversial name to come out of this new cabinet.
Absolutely. The left-wing daily, The Mirror, leads with that iconic image of Boris at his buffooning best. So that's probably the Boris Johnson you know and love, or maybe despise.
That was a pre-Olympic stunt that went wrong.
Yes, that was when he was London Mayor, suspended on a zip while holding those British flags, with the simple, forlorn caption here, "Dear world, sorry." That's from The Mirror. May makes Boris our Foreign Secretary, and it would seem that the paper has reason to be concerned. The Guardian's compiled an eye-watering list of Johnson's top international gaffes. Only 2 months ago, he won a £1,000 prize for penning a poem about Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and it mentioned that implied that Erdogan had had sex with a goat. And now this was
quite some poem.
A rather satirical rebuff to the president's efforts to prosecute a German comedian for writing a rather insulting poem about him. And of course, there was the other time that Boris Johnson violently tackled a 10-year-old Japanese boy to the ground during a game of street rugby.
Oh my goodness, not what you want from a foreign minister, perhaps. There have been some more humorous responses to his nomination.
And there's a cartoon in the Telegraph today that sums that up perfectly. 2 men are looking up in amazement at a rather erratic-looking graph. "That's not the pound," one of them says, "that's Boris Johnson's career."
Very neat.
And in keeping with that satirical theme, there's a wonderful piece today in the Metro with the headline, "Theresa May's husband steals the show in a sexy navy suit as he starts his new life as first man." And it goes on. A single fastened button at the waist helped show off his fantastic figure, and a pale blue tie brought out the colour of his eyes, while round glasses perched on his nose accentuated his amazing bone structure. No doubt one of the assets he used to help him bag his wife. So all I can say is thank you to the Metro there for subjecting May's husband to the same objectifying and tiresome scrutiny that's all too often reserved for women.
Interesting indeed. Thanks very much. Haxie Myers-Belkin there looking through some of the top international news headlines for us.